Hi there everybody, I'm Budging Salmon here, and today we're gonna look at my macro deck. Some of you guys have been asking about it, and I thought that I would give you a sneak peek. A little bit of a preface. This is a deck that I built in the late 2000s. I had always been obsessed with remove from play cards, and I just like slowly gathered them um, until they became widely available. Even at the time, I didn't even have Macrocosmos when I was building it, or Helios for that matter. It took me a while to get. So this is based on it. There's going to be like a couple newer cards that I thought just worked really well, but for the most part, this is pretty close to how I ran it from like 2007 to like 2012. I don't really remember when exactly they limited D Fisher and Macrocosmos, but here's what we're working with. All right, so obviously we got Battle Fader. Um, it removes itself from play, so it works for several reasons. It works with the soul absorption, and it works with Iza. Obviously, it also has 0 attack, 0 defense, which works with another card I'm going to bring up later, which is Inferno Tempest. Scout Planes, always good. Um, anytime it's returned, or anytime it's removed from play in any circumstance, it comes back to the field. Iza, it's good at 1 or 2. I have it at 1 because uh, honestly, if you're doing things right, you only really need 1 if everything works out for you. D.D Assailant, always good. When it's destroyed by battle, you can remove both cards from play, or you just do. You remove him and whatever killed him from play. DD Survivor is good. Only when it's removed from play while face up on the field will you get it back. And both Survivor and Scout Plane come back at the end of your turn, or at the end of the turn that they were destroyed and removed from play. I do have Thunder King Ryo. I ran it back in the day when it was like uber busted against like Dark Worlds and all that good stuff. Things were just starting to search out like everything. This is when Thunder King Ryo was like the anti-meta card. So I put it back in here. Honestly, I don't get much use out of him. The only thing he really does is that he's a 19. Um, you know, Dark Hole is super good because obviously you have 4 monsters that will come back at the end of the turn, regardless. Um, Regeki, it's Regeki. I mean, really nothing to go there. Um, Card Destruction's super good, especially if you have macro on the field, because that means every single card in your hand is going to get removed from play. If you only have D-Fissure, it'll remove all the monsters, which if it's one of these two guys, will come back. I mean, the goal obviously is to remove as many cards from play so you can get Iza, because he gets 400 attack for every card removed from play. Soul Release, super good. It could only be better if it was a quick play, but it lets you remove 5 cards from either graveyard, and you can mix and match. You can do like 1 from yours, 4 from theirs, whatever. It's super good because if you didn't get these out early enough, you can always remove your opponent's monsters if they're going to combo you, or you can give Iza like a free 2000 attack. You know, 1 day of peace, just 1 day of peace, all good. So this one is obviously a new card that I've been using. It's absolutely fantastic because it automatically sets Iza up with 2400 attack, and it's a +2 to your hand. So I have 2 of those because 1, it gives Iza all the attack he needs to get over most monsters, especially if you use both. You can get up to 4800 attack because it removes from 3 to 6 cards. I always choose 6 because honestly, I don't even use this. I need to set up more Link monsters in my extra deck so that I can utilize these guys more, because if they're removed for a Link summon, they should come back. I haven't found any good Link monsters to use, so if you have any that I could use, let me know. He's a warrior, he's a machine, so you give me a heads up, let me know. Afterglow is one I found recently. I think it's pretty interesting. It deck thins for you, and it removes the cards from play. When you play Afterglow, it removes itself and any copies from pretty much anywhere else, and removes it from play. And then you add 1 back to your deck, and if you happen to draw it during your next draw phase, it does 4000 damage to your opponent. I've never done that, but the fact that it removes 3 cards from play for soul absorption is super dope. And it deck thins, which is always good. Soul Absorption is if a card is banished or cards is banished, gain 500 life points. This is actually 500 per card removed, not per times things get removed. So, like for instance, if you dropped all 5 cards for card destruction, you'd get 2,500 life points. 1,500 from that, 3,000 per pot of extravagance. You set up to tank damage. It's absolutely wonderful. Defissure, it's self-explanatory. Any monster that would be sent to the graveyard is removed from play. MST, I think it's good for spot stuff. Plus, I'm running 1 skill drain, and as you guys might notice, Iza needs his effect to be useful, and since he's the #1 beater in the deck, you need your own options to destroy skill drain. You can't rely on your opponent to do so. Inferno Tempest is such a meme card. It was such a meme card back in the day because not a lot of monsters had 3,000 attack to stomp on you with. It was like Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend, like Lava Golem. I ran Lava Golem in this deck at one point just so they would have a 3,000 attack power monster to hit me with. Obviously not the case now because every deck can summon a bajillion monsters with 3,000 attack, and if you're doing your soul absorption stuff, you can get a bunch. The funny thing about soul absorption also is that it'll chain to itself multiple times in a chain. So if you have things that remove at different stages in the chain process, you can actually chain the same soul absorption to itself to keep gaining life points in the same chain. And that works for both of these. I only recently added a second one. So the whole thing about Inferno Tempest is that since every deck can do this, it's less of a meme card than it used to be. Still hilarious. If you take 3,000 damage, you remove all monster cards in both players' decks and graveyards from play. And if you have soul absorption on the field, that could be anything from just you have 10 monsters, so that's 5,000 life points, 10,000 if you have all of them, and then you'll get both scout planes back. Not counting your opponent's monsters. If your opponent's monsters get removed from play, you're going to get stupid life points, which will clearly make up for the 3,000 you just took. Mirror Force, pretty good staple. If you have these guys out, they get removed from play. It's great. TT, it's the same reason. Dark Hole's good. 40% of your monsters are going to come back. Bottomless, it's just a free setup for D.D Dynamite and for Soul Absorption. D.D Dynamite is probably one of the most fun cards, especially after you get Inferno Tempest, because D.D Dynamite's going to do 300 per card your opponent has removed. So, if you Inferno, then D.D Dynamite could do 6k damage, or it just depends how much monsters they have, how many monsters they have in their deck. Deep Prison, I love it. It doesn't destroy any monsters, it just shoots them into the remove from play pile, which used to get around Stardust, obviously. It's worked pretty okay lately for those times where you don't want to take, damage if you don't have Tempest. Starlight Road, I feel is pretty important because you run 30 back row cards for the most part, especially if you have your Macrocosmos set up and your soul absorptions. People are going to try to feather duster you a lot, or they use that lightning. What's the card? Lightning. That spell card, what is it? This one. They use Lightning Storm to destroy all your spell and trap cards. Which I might put that one in, actually, but I don't want to have to remove an MST for the reasons I told you. So, Stardust is good. Not even to get a Stardust, because you can't use it, because if you tribute it, it'll get removed from play, but just to negate the backfield destruction, super good. Skill Drain, I like Skill Drain. It doesn't affect Scout Plane or DD Survivor because they activate and they're removed from play, so they'll still come back, and it just lets you tank until you get the cards you need, basically, because you can tank 4 attacks as long as they don't have piercing without losing damage. And if you have these on the field, then anytime they kill your monsters, you're set. You're getting 500. It's 2,000 HP a turn if they decide to fight you, and if they don't, then fine, great. And then Macrocosmos is good. You can run a Helios. I feel Helios doesn't ramp up as quickly as I would like, even if it gets 100 attack damage for each card for both players that's removed from play. If you like it, go for it. If not, whatever. Um, I was running DD Spirit for this stuff. Honestly, the extra deck, which I need to put 2 more back in because I crafted, is just for these guys. But if you guys have any suggestions for link monsters, I think that would work really well with these guys. I don't really have a whole lot right now. I haven't picked up a lot of link monsters I can use. But yeah, if you like it, awesome. Feel free to build it. Here's the deck list. I'm still tweaking it because, like I said, there are new cards that have come out that you can use. If you guys have any suggestions on what you like, go for it. This could be a good Monarch engine, for like sacrifices. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. It's a pretty decent synchro engine. You can use it for a lot of stuff, and I have used it for a lot of stuff. But this is basically the core of what I ran for like 6 or 7 years in high school. So, yeah, just let me know what you think. Hope you liked it.